This video will find you when you're ready. Or will it? Have you ever randomly thought about somebody that you haven't talked to in a while and they text you or call you? You learn a new word or think of an idea and suddenly you start seeing it everywhere. Or maybe you meet the right person at the exact right time and it's just a huge coincidence how everything lines up. Even today is August 12th. There's a huge astronomical event going on. There's a solar eclipse on top of the planets aligning on top of a meteorologist shower, and I just happen to be making this video. Maybe these are all just coincidence, but what even is a coincidence? And finally, you clicking on this video and watching it. Is it all just a coincidence, or is there something deeper? There's a really famous experiment called the double slit experiment. It was first done in the 1800s and more recently on the quantum level. The 1800s version was basically just trying to prove whether light is a wave or a particle, and I'm not going to get too deep into it. But on the quantum side of things, and the more recent thing, we noticed something interesting. We had machines recording, cameras basically, recording the state of light on the quantum level. And they noticed it was basically infinite. There was two slits, and they just tried to measure how the light passed through it. And it was basically all over the place until they put their eyes in a microscope. Then it became one solid light particle passing through the slit. This is where things get interesting. It is to say that until a human eye, human consciousness observed these particles, it was a wave of infinity. It was endless possibilities. And when somebody actually observed it, it collapsed into one finite observable thing. Now, quantum reality is crazy. There's tons of videos that go really in depth on the specifics of the situation, and if you actually pay attention and learn about it, it's gonna completely blow your mind. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about coincidences. Books like Reality Transurfing, all of Joe Dispenza's work, the Kybalion, these esoteric works, all these things about meditation and mindfulness, you're going to see that they have a theme. And that is that field of infinite possibilities collapsing onto awareness. That is to say, when you close your eyes, you can imagine anything you want. And when you fixate on one specific idea and concept for a prolonged period of time, it's almost as though your reality collapses onto itself into that reality. Your desires manifest into the real world through your conscious awareness of what you desire. Now, we can all agree that existence is really weird. This is all very strange. We're just aware and conscious and in this living bubble thing. The coincidence and pattern that we find here is awareness matters. And it's not because we can just magically think and change electrons or anything dumb like that. But think about it. Right now you're looking at me. Hearing my voice, you can see everything on the screen and everything around the screen that you're watching. Now you can probably feel your clothes, you notice the pattern of your breathing, you can feel the chair underneath you or whatever you're sitting on, and now that I mention it, you're probably breathing manually. Sorry. And underneath of all that is your thoughts, like what you have to do tomorrow, what happened yesterday, what somebody said, how much money you're making, some girl, some problem, something you want, your brain's constantly grabbing onto something and saying, pay attention to this. And what I've learned in the lesson that I want to share with you is that if you sit in silence long enough and stop feeding these thoughts and let them become boring, underneath that, you're going to find a magical world. Something interesting happens. You get bored of all the physical sensations and you reach a field, basically an empty field in your mind. Now that everything's been processed and everything is silent, you're just sitting in this field of infinite possibilities, waiting for the next thought to pop up in your mind. Silence for 30 seconds, and then boom, the next thought pops up. You choose whether or not to pay attention to it or not. And you keep letting it go and go until eventually, even time itself, you start losing track of it, and you're in this really infinite field. This is where creation is. This is where you can change your subconscious programming and just train yourself to act and behave in whatever way you'd like to behave. Another theme in these books is the as above, so below principle. You may have noticed that some galaxies look like eyeballs, You see patterns in nature all over the place. They repeat themselves. A harmony that's just everywhere. The astronomical events going on today are some sort of symbolism, as above, so below. And these are concepts touched in many of these type of books. It's not to say these things can give you superpower or anything like that. They could just be passing anomalies, right? To be honest with you guys, these concepts are just what's on my mind as I'm filming this video. I just need to make a post for the day. Keep the algorithm on YouTube consistent, right? So perhaps it's just a coincidence that you're sitting here listening to this whole spiel, being introduced to all these concepts. Regardless, in my journey of making money, every single one of these have served me well. You will find themes of the concepts taught in all of these books throughout conversations millionaires have. You will find many millionaires on YouTube talking about these exact sort of things. And so maybe this is just some video that's going to flop, get about 60 views, not many people are going to watch it. Maybe somebody's going to actually watch the end, put some thought into these concepts, and have an unlock in life, a real unlock, an ability to bend space-time, if you will. But if this finds the right person, I hope this inspires you to look inside yourself, sit in silence, get to know yourself, and who knows, maybe you'll find a new best friend waiting inside.